Yo guys, it's City here, and before I say anything, I just want to say thank you. The first video, aka the previous video, got a really good response. Some of you guys made reaction videos on it, some of you guys made edits on it, and we even got shouted out by a bunch of awesome people. Thank you guys so much. I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. It truly does mean the absolute world to me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, on to the video. Today we got a really good matchup for you guys. On one hand, we have Moder, the fallen child of the Norse god Loki, who appeared as the antagonist of the 2017 horror film The Ritual. And on the other side, we have the Scorpios Rex, the first hybrid dinosaur ever in the Jurassic franchise timeline, who appeared in Season 3 of Camp Cretaceous. Today we're going to be putting them both head to head, going over their individual strengths and weaknesses, and determining who would win if they were to fight each other. We will be going over categories like strength and power, speed and agility, durability and endurance, IQ and battle IQ, and finally, abilities. Now, if you're interested in the backstories of Moder and the Scorpios Rex, I highly suggest checking out these videos that I'm going to pop on screen right now. In fact, some of the information that I actually used are from these videos, so definitely go check them out. But with all that out of the way, let's get into it. So starting off with strength, Moder, aka Jotnum, has shown some pretty good feats of this category. For example, she's able to effortlessly lift humans and impale them onto large branches. She's seemingly able to knock down trees with ease. And finally, she's able to lift and impale a whole elk onto a tree, while also slicing its intestines. And for reference, adult male elks usually weigh from 700 to 1,100 pounds. Pretty impressive. Now to the Scorpios Rex. Given that the Scorpios Rex doesn't get a whole lot of screen time, it does lack a little bit in just pure feats. But it does have one strength feat that is actually pretty solid, that being, the Scorpios Rexes can actually throw each other around pretty easily. Scorpios Rexes coming in at around 1.1 tons, definitely very hefty. Now to Moder's power. This stat is a little hard to figure out for Moder, since she does do a lot of things off screen. But she does have something that we could possibly point to, and that is her knocking over trees. Now in the movie, we actually don't see her do this while she's on screen. Rather, she does this when she's chasing our main characters around out of view. Or she does this completely off screen, so that when the movie shows another scene, the damage to the trees is already done. But I do think it's a more reasonable assumption to say that instead of her just stopping and pushing the trees over, she probably just used her pure power just to bulldoze them over, so that she can catch up to our main characters faster. Now to the Scorpios Rex's power. Even though that the Scorpios Rex does have little screen time as well, it is actually similar to Moder that it has one feat that outshines the rest. That being, it was able to break the concrete surrounding a door and didn't even have any scratches on it. And it's also worth mentioning that unlike Moder, the Scorpios Rex actually does have a mouth and claws, which could come in handy if the Scorpios Rex decides to slash at a certain weak spot of Moder, which we will get into a little later. So for strength and power, I will actually have to give them both to the Scorpios Rex. Due to that, the Scorpios Rex's feats of tossing another Scorpios around and effortlessly breaking concrete are just more impressive than Moder's off-screen elk and tree feat that we don't even know for sure how effortlessly or non-effortlessly she did. Now moving on to speed and agility. These two are not even close. Even though it was said by Dom that Moder is fast, we really only see her catch up to humans. And for reference, the average man can run around 8 to 14 miles per hour. Scorpios Rex, on the other hand, can run up to about 30 miles per hour. And for agility, given that Moder has more or less a moose-like frame, she just doesn't compare to the Scorpios Rex's more agile and maneuverable body. So both of these stats will go to the Scorpios Rex. Now onto durability and endurance. Unlike a lot of other things that we've gone over, Moder actually does have an on-screen feat for both of these. For durability, she was able to tank a whole bolt-action rifle shot straight to the body and only get tickled by it. And for endurance, she was able to get cut into the head and then moments later, be fine and running. The Scorpios Rex, on the other hand, was able to perform some pretty good on-screen feats of these things as well. For durability, like we mentioned earlier, it was able to break concrete with little to no effort without sustaining any injuries. Not only that, but it was also shown that the Scorpios Rex can take multiple bites and scratches without getting penetrated by their own kind. This can also be used as an endurance feat as well, since in that fight, it was shown that the Scorpios Rex can get slammed multiple upon multiple times and still keep going forward comfortably. It was also shown that the Scorpios Rex can actually take some pretty good electrical damage, saying that it was mostly okay when it got hit by an electric fence. Although, neither of our combatants will be using any electrical-based attacks, so that wouldn't matter too much. So, who gets durability and who gets endurance? For durability, I would actually have to give the nod to the Scorpios Rex. Even though Moder did take a bullet with no injury, because she got sliced into the head, By a weakened human with a hatchet, I would have to give durability to the Scorpios Rex, since I don't see that happening to it. And for endurance, I would definitely have to give this point to Motor, since even though she did get sliced in the head, she handled it fairly well, considering that it was a direct headshot. Now onto IQ and battle IQ. Motor has shown an immense amount of intelligence, mainly stemming from that she is able to understand and figure out what experiences in your life were the most traumatizing for you. Shown by that she was able to enter the main character Luke's mind and was able to see that him not sticking up for his friend was the reason for his death, thus being the most traumatic experience for him. Then further using this experience to try to manipulate him into worshipping her. While the Scorpios Rex, even though it's definitely not dumb, it is mostly just animalistic and aggressive. It is very good at keeping quiet and sneaking up on its opponents, but other than that, it doesn't actually show that much intelligence. So IQ will go to Motor. Now to the second to last stat, Battle IQ. Both Motor and the Scorpios Rex are actually similar in this category. As we just went over, the Scorpios Rex and Motor are actually masters at sneaking up on their prey, using the environment around them to get the best angle to attack without being seen. While this is impressive for both of them, the Scorpios Rex has definitely shown more variety of this. Motor only did this to humans, while the Scorpios Rex did this to humans and other dinosaurs. It also naturally took down stronger opponents, and was more calculated doing so. So with that, Battle IQ will go to the Scorpios Rex. Now on to the final stat, Abilities. Despite Motor being a god, she actually only shows 2 abilities, that being mind reading and the ability to grant immortality-ish. The Scorpios Rex, on the other hand, surprisingly actually has the same amount of abilities, those being infrared vision and its venomous spikes that it can detach from its body. With that being said, who gets abilities? It is very debatable, but I would actually have to give it to the Scorpios Rex, due to its abilities being more useful in actual fighting. Motor's ability to grant immortality would be pretty much useless in this fight, and even though she has shown that she can read minds, she never showed that she could use this power to predict what you're gonna do next. And furthermore, we don't actually even know if it would actually work on the Scorpios Rex, considering that she only did it to humans and not animals. While the Scorpios Rex's infrared vision could definitely come in handy with seeing where Motor is, eliminating the possibility of her sneaking up on it. And even though Motor is technically a god, she still seems to be vulnerable to attacks that would hurt basic animals like elk. So the Scorpios Rex's venomous spikes would definitely come in handy as well, especially if Motor tries to hit it in that area, possibly even paralyzing her. So, with all that being said, we have reached the end of the category breakdown with a score of 7-2. The Scorpios Rex picking strength, power, speed, agility, durability, battle IQ, and abilities, and Motor taking endurance and IQ. So, does this almost one-sided scoreboard mean that the Scorpios Rex actually wins? Well, I would say yes. Not only does the Scorpios Rex have almost every physical category on Motor, but like we mentioned earlier, Motor actually does have a weak spot, that being her head, and given that a weakened human with a hatchet was able to easily slice into it, the Scorpios Rex would have absolutely no problem with tearing it to pieces. And adding insult to injury, if Motor tried to attack the Scorpios Rex head-on, she would likely get outpaced in an instant. And if the Scorpios Rex decided to climb a tree and pounce on Motor, there would almost be nothing that she could do, considering that the Scorpios Rex would most likely get on its back and tear her up from the behind. And since she only has short arms, she would have trouble getting the Scorpios off. And for the final nail in the coffin, I was a little hesitant to use this feat, since we have been using quite a few off-screen feats, but the Scorpios Rex was able to take down a whole Brachiosaurus. And even though yes, it is partially off-screen, I don't see any world where Motor would even come close to matching this feat of pure dominance. So, with low to mid difficulty, your official winner of this battle is the Scorpios Rex. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wanted this video to be longer, but unfortunately a lot of stuff actually got in the way. The next video will hopefully be longer, with a lot more stuff to add. And if you guys have any suggestions of videos that you think would be cool, definitely let me know in the comments. And one thing I also would like to mention is that I will be working with an artist to try and get a new profile pic, and also hopefully an avatar. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see all of you guys in the next video. Bye guys.